All right, so I am here with Aubin. This is Aubin. Say hi, Aubin.
Hello.
Before class today, Aubin and I were talking about Murph, and she was asking me if she can do it. And Aubin, would you say you're a beginner athlete?
Yes, so big time.
Tell me a little bit about like what brought you into the gym in the first place.
Well, CrossFit always looked fun, but I was always really scared to do it. And then one of my doctors said something about lifting weights is one of the best things you can do, and mentioned CrossFit, and the timing of a text from you asking if I wanted to come to Bring Your Friend Week kind of aligned, and I thought it was kind of meant to be, so I tried it and joined like 2 weeks ago.
Awesome. And you said you've been a little bit intimidated by it, looking from the outside. What has your experience been so far since you've been here for a few weeks?
It's the opposite. Everybody's been super friendly and encouraging, and it's not really about like who can do the most, and it's not super competitive with each other. Everybody's trying to do better than they did before, which is kind of the vibe I was looking for, and it's not intimidating like I thought.
Awesome. You're doing great, by the
Thanks.
way. So Aubin, before class today, like I said, so we have Murph coming up on Monday, which is in a few days, and she was debating, should I come? I'm brand new. I don't know if I can do that workout. And so we were talking about how she can do it, and I was explaining to her some movements she can sub out, some ways she can modify the workout. So I'm going to walk her through that right now so you guys can see that any workout is infinitely scalable to any fitness level, even zero experience, which Aubin has some experience now, but even if you have zero experience, we can modify any workout for you. So Murph is a 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then another 1 mile run. And Aubin sees that on paper, and what do you think when you see that, just as written?
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Can you do any pull-ups yet?
No.
Yeah, I always say yet because everyone can eventually, but so not yet.
Not
and
even close.
and push-ups.
No.
Yeah. So she's like, I don't know if I can do that. Well, let's go over first what you can do for the pull-ups. And even if you're just thinking about those numbers, 100, 200, 300, man, that's a lot. Well, first thing we can do is reduce the reps down. You don't have to do all the reps. We can do a modified version of it. It's still Murph. You're still doing something hard relative to you. So it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. It's just something that's hard relative to you. So the first thing we're going to do is, instead of 100 reps of the pull-ups, we're going to do 50. And we're not going to do pull-ups. We're going to do either ring rows or bar rows, which is a pulling movement, but easier to start with than full pull-ups. So let's talk about a bar row. Well, I'll demonstrate it for you, and then you can try some. It's just like that, okay? So you go ahead and stand here. Let's place your feet right about here where my foot is, maybe right here. Yeah. Lean back, get a good grip, straighten your arms, and you're just going to pull all the way to your body. Yep, that's it. So you're going to do 50 of those, and you don't have to do them all at once. We can talk about how Murph can be split up. So instead of doing 50 of those, 100 push-ups, 150 air squats, she can do 10 rounds of 5 bar rows, 10 modified push-ups, which we'll go over in a second, and 15 air squats. So let's talk about the version of the push-up you're going to do. We're going to use the same bar, and you're just going to be elevated off the ground. It's going to look like this. Okay? So go ahead and try a couple of those. This is probably going to feel really easy to start with. Good. Get those elbows in just a little bit more. Yeah. Good. You can rest for a second. So that's probably too easy, right? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
We'll see.
let's say it is. Let's say she's like, hey, I'm going to be able to do 20 of those, no problem. Well, we can just lower this down a little bit and make it just a little more challenging. Why don't you see if you can do 3 to this lower level? Go all the way down till it touches your chest. Yeah, your torso. There you go. Yep. Really good, Aubin. Great. So that's what she's going to do for push-ups. You could also do push-ups from your knees or to a box, but this is a nice way you can adjust it up and down if you have one of these adjustable pull-up bars like we do at the gym. So there's your pull-ups and push-ups. It's nice because you can just use the same implement for it. And then your air squats, I know you can do some air squats, right? Just body weight, push your hips back, sit down. But let's say somebody had like a knee issue or just isn't comfortable squatting that low. You could squat to a target, like a box. So go ahead and just demonstrate 5 of those for me, Aubin, just so people can see. Yep. Good job, hips back. Keep the weight in your heels. Good job. Awesome. So, and then as far as the run, because that was one thing you were like, I don't know if I can run the full mile. Well, a couple options there. We can reduce the distance to 800 meters, and she could do kind of like a walk, jog, run, whatever she can do for 800 meters, which is a half mile. We could even reduce that down to 400 meters. Or if Aubin isn't wanting to run at all or isn't able to run, we can sub it with a stationary bike. And you can do a stationary air bike instead of the run. So does that sound like something you can do?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Plan on it.
Let's do it. Plan on it Monday, Murph.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.